Alright, diving on into what's currently my favorite format in Magic at the moment, Historic for the day. We have a fair Vannifair deck here. So this was actually a build-around submission where the submitter asked me if I could try and leverage a deck that can flip Fblthp from our deck into play and draw 2 cards with it. So my thought process in doing that was, well, I need a 1-drop creature that I really don't mind sacrificing to have that happen with Vannifair. And Cauldron Familiar was the one that jumped out at me. So this is a Vannifair deck that has a food package built into it. So we've got the Goose, Cat, Oven, Trail of Crumbs. I've also got some Wicked Wolves in the sideboard. And past that, we just got some various utility cards. Vannifair could search up Hostage Taker, Findbroker, Atris for some card advantage. We got Biogenic Ooze at the top end of our curve for 5 to pump stuff into. I've got a few different 3-drops here. I've also got 1 cheeky Corridor Monitor and Tower Scout, so that way at least once we can pop off and go from a 1-drop to one of our 4-drops if we wanted, so we could turn like one of these into a Hostage Taker, for instance. Thanks, Hurly Burly. So, I don't know if this deck is going to be good or not. Let's go ahead and kick the tires on it. We played a little bit of the Vannifair combo deck in this format. I think that deck is super reasonable. Interested to see what a more fair card advantage based build can do. Well, that's a silver lining at least, Hooser. Sorry to hear that. Anybody remember Vivien Reid, by the way? Remember when this was a format staple? It was like a card you really wanted to play? You worried about her ticking up to her ultimate too soon? Too fast? I've got a couple more of her in the sideboard too. Last time we played, when we played combo Vannifair, we ended up putting a bunch of her in the sideboard for the grindy matchup, and I think that she'll be able to play that role well here too. Really hoping to find either Vannifair or an Oven or a Trail of Crumbs here. Trail of Crumbs into Oven would be absurd, so we propel us lots of other card advantage. Unsurprised you see the Grixis player take Vivien here. They're likely a fair deck that's looking to generate card advantage, so Vivien's one of our better tools against them. Vivien can also shoot down things like 4-mana Nicol Bolas. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Yeah, remember when people thought Carnage Tyrant was something worth complaining about? Oh, those sweet summer children. If they only knew, chat. If they only knew. This was actually the best draw in our deck, like I said. Would like to find an Oven here next since we're calling our shots. I mean, to be fair, even though we're flooding a little bit here, we could probably play through Flood with the Trail of Crumbs. I mean, I've always been on a PC. I wasn't streaming from a server before. I've always streamed from a personal computer. Does Mac count as a PC under the definition of what PC means? Yes. Yes, Apple's I'm a Mac versus I'm a PC commercial have always been technically incorrect and stupid. Nothing shady here. Are you the real Slim Shady? Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, PC stands for personal computer. Yes, that is accurate. PC has always been personal computer. Apple just likes to market itself as something pretentious. And yes, I swapped to attempting to stream from a Windows system for the first time in years because of the random internet disconnection issues I keep having under Linux. I think I've whittled down any possibility that it's related to my internet connection. So... I mean... I think Trail of Crumbs will let us actually play through this hand. I think there's a chance Trail of Crumbs lets us play through this. How can it be that you uninstall the software, reinstall it, and still be logged in? That's actually very common. So when you uninstall a software, it generally doesn't purge all the configuration files. Sometimes uninstall tools will have an extra option you can check to tell it to purge the configuration files along with it. But usually it's not a guaranteed thing, unless you explicitly specify. It's not really a Logitech thing. In fact, most Linux package managers have different commands for purging versus just removing a software. And purging means it takes the configuration files with it. Package managers are nice, chat. They're nice. Very nice. Ever think you have a shoe partnership? Well, I mean, I've sold mattresses and I've sold premium men's clothing. So, like, shoes aren't really too far off of those two things, right? Are the cat triggers going to kill them? Yes. Remember when we saw a triple sweep? Is there anything more Grixis than having triple sweeper, double removal spell be your hand and still losing to the creature deck. I really feel like nothing really embodies Grixis more than that. I'm gonna have to teach this child that there's gonna be consequences when he doesn't close my door. I think he's gonna have to learn that. It's like the third time today he's been in and out without closing my door. You know, sit him down and give him the talking to. Declan, we are not Republicans. Your actions have consequences. We believe in personal accountability. Vannifair is an ooze. Can't you just agree to disagree about the door? Oh, it's funny because it's sad. Sure. The overtone door is gradually being shifted open. As an enlightened centrist, I believe we should leave the door half open, then everyone can be happy. Thanks for the 12 months, Hybrid. I appreciate you keeping me around. Glad you're home safe. Hope you're staying safe out there. The slow kitty grind. Oh, Grixis. I'm like drawing a bunch of cards while we do this, but like, do those cards even matter? Like, they're just dying to the 1 points of damage. Like, we're accruing an entire handful of stuff, but like, I don't actually need the stuff. Agonizing Remorse sounds good. Vivien Reid sounds great. Yeah, they could just be trying to see more of my deck. That's fair. Probably don't need Reclamation Sage here. Brain Maggot just dies to their sweepers. This is mostly for the combo matchup. I'll trim a mana dork here. Rest of this seems fine. Yeah, this is a Vannifair deck. Is a non-combo Vannifair deck. And to be fair, had we been playing the combo build, we probably wouldn't be winning this match. Like, the old build is not, the combo build is not good against really interactive decks. This more grindy build likely is. How much did that fun factor into you not putting a combo in the deck? So, the original build-around submission for this was a deck that's able to draw 2 cards with Fblthp. And I think Vannifair is the best way to do that. But I didn't want to just shoehorn Fblthp into the combo build, because I think that just makes the combo build worse. So rather than, when I do build-arounds, I try not to just, like, add the card to an established deck and make it worse. Maury PR, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Nah, I don't think we care enough to bring in Gust, Hedgehog. I have Vivien Reid. I'm boarding in 2 more Viviens, which can shoot down Nikki B. This message was paid for by the Jacob Declan Caucus. What would Jacob and the Jacob Declan's Caucus political goals be? I feel like their first order of business is they would demand more than 1 chocolate pudding per day. That's been a point of tension somewhat recently. They're currently limited to 1 chocolate pudding per day. Hey, Zach, thanks for the 32 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Fantasy End, thanks for the 16 months. More pudding is a highly touted part of all platforms. Unfortunate we lost our powerful card advantage engine there. We did keep Vivien Reid though, so hopefully we can get her going down the line. Honestly, I'm just going to take their discovery. Hopefully slow them down and give us time to get to Vivien and leverage her to bury them. Yes, yeah, I left 1 Tower Scout and 1 Corridor Monitor in, so that way if we have Vannifar and a 1-drop, we can go from 1 to 4 or 2 to 4. Jacob's demands would probably be he doesn't need to eat real food before he gets to have a gummy candy. Manta Ray Burrito? A Manta Ray Burrito? Is a manta ray a real thing? Is that a fish? Or is that a mana ray? Or am I thinking mana because I'm playing Magic? Listen, chat, I am not a marine biologist. Don't expect me to know what all things are. Now, why are we making burritos out of manta rays? I guess fish tacos are a real thing, right?
The wild come to me.
My graveyard's only got 3 cards in it. I'm gonna grab Atris here. No, I haven't looked at spoilers, Philly. It's a good draw. We're just missing land still. So, speaking of me looking at spoilers, I'm waiting to hear back from my CSI editor, Cool Stuff Inc. editor, if they want to pay me to write an article on the spoilers, I'm going to write an article. If they don't want to pay me to write a spoiler article, I'm probably just going to record a short video and put it on YouTube. I don't believe in full set reviews because I think they're largely a waste of time, but the highlights video or article I think are useful and constructive if you approach them in the right way. Yeah, full set reviews are useful for limited. They are not really great constructed content. Agree with that. Yep. I think the people that do full set reviews of the constructed mindset are largely wasting people's time. I want to hear Jeff say draft chaff next for 80% of the cards being spoiled. Right. Right. Out of curiosity, how long does it take for Discord to link us up? Up to an hour. I can go ahead and force a manual refresh since you just came in. I have the power to do that. Alright, you should be good to go. It can be entertaining to watch people I once respected call Oko utter garbage. That's a tough choice there, actually. It's possible I should have sacrificed the goose and then sacked the food. I just realized this deck can sack Uro in response using Vannifair. I'm going to give you a 10-minute break to read Vannifair. Joke's on you! I ain't got thoughts to erase. Get out of here. I think I'm gonna get Hostage Taker here. Or not Hostage Taker. I could get Atris. I guess Fblthp draw 2 is probably better. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw 2. Sure. I guess the upside is if I pod... Well, I can pod this into... Atris next turn.
Keep an open mind.
He does not draw cards, correct. Yeah, he puts them into your hand. I'm gonna board like we boarded against the last Grixis opponent. Vivien's and discard spells in. Brain Maggot. Reclamation Sage, Llanowar Elves out. Yeah, maybe they thought we were gonna combo them. I don't know. They could have been hurt by the combo. They've been hurt before. Sure. Perfect. Hand's a little speculative. I don't know. Manadork and Vivien Reid seems pretty keepable. Findbroker's like Eternal Witness or Snapcaster Mage, right? That's fantastic. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, like, what are they gonna play on 3 that want a Hostage Taker? I guess they could be playing something weird like Thief of Sanity. Could have potential. I think I just Trail of Crumbs here and attack them for 2. Thanks, Zero. I try. Kind of expecting Vivien to die here, but I also don't think that's too big of a deal.
Beasts are much. The wilds are my shield.
Okay. Wow, rude. Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair. I was hoping they did Grey Merchant too.
Someone like you.
Was kind of crossing my fingers, not gonna lie. So I think the play here is actually Fblthp, and then if this bricks, I'm gonna Hostage Taker my own Fblthp. Because this in a roundabout way cantrips my Hostage Taker, because like when either the Hostage Taker will die and it will draw a card, or I'll recast this and draw a card next turn. They're just super buried. Cat, Oven, Trail, like, have so many axes of card advantage there. Moved on up the ladder, crushing Grixis under our feet. Do-do-do-do. Sure. I mean, it's a little awkward, but I think it's keepable. Hopefully we draw a Shockland here. Perfect. Shockland. Shockland lets me fetch black with this and then have all my colors online, which is great. They're going to be a little bit sad when they see Cauldron Familiar after casting that, I bet. How sick is it that we got a third fair deck in a row, though? It's like playing my value deck here. Oh no, Teferi, don't bounce my Risen Reef. Please, no, don't do it, Teferi.
No more games. Trust me, I have a plan.
Regret not taking Veto a little bit now since we drew Trail of Crumbs.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
As a new tier 2 sub, how do we add democracy points? Just let me know which deck you'd like to bump up each month. Just take a peekaboo and let me know in chat here. And make sure I verbally acknowledge that I saw your message. They drew Shatter here? Shatter is the one that makes sense, right? Gaia's Wrath? Yeah, feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Well, I only played one cat.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Da-da-da. No, I haven't really looked. I don't consume that much content in general, and what content I have been consuming recently is not related to Standard. The play patterns in Standard have been pretty medium for me. Getting Aether Gusted constantly is a chore. Alright, cats, let's do it. Let's do it, Kit Kats. I believe in you. Definitely just superb. The Dead DC, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Huh? Do I play around a sweeper? I think the answer is yes. I feel like with these cats and this pumping out food, I can play around the sweeper. It's terribly boring, but I think it's the game theory optimal play. There's always a punishment, chat. There's always a punishment. I mean, they are going to 8 here, and like if they eventually kill the cats, they do come back. So like, you know, yeah, we have them on a relatively quick clock, all things considered.
Stand by and watch.
Let's keep pumping out food here.
I won't let you win.
Considered splashing red for Cavalcade to help your beatdown plan. Asking the real questions. Oh no! Oh no! Not my legion of cats, chat. Not my legion of kitties. How did everything go so horribly wrong, chat? How did everything go so horribly wrong? I don't understand.
I've got time.
So close and yet so far away. Obviously, should have just jammed. Should have just jammed the Biogenic Ooze. I was going to board the same way. Actually, against Esper, I probably don't mind keeping Reclamation Sage. So I'm going to cut the 2 Brain Maggots, the 2 Elves. I think is the plan. They have, like, Azcanta and stuff in their deck. You could have swung with both geese before conceding. That is, you're not wrong. The geese could have been more aggressive. Trail of Crumbs could quite possibly be our single best card in this matchup, so we're gonna keep. They already know what colors we're playing, so I'm just going to fetch here right away, get ahead of the curve, get my sweet, sweet auto pass value in. Did they spoil a land cycle yet, by the way? I haven't been keeping up super on top of spoilers. I'm going to go through them tomorrow when they post the full thing, but do we know what the dual lands are yet? How is it the last day of spoilers and they haven't posted the land cycle? It's kind of unreal. I would be really disappointed in Wizards of the Coast if they reprinted traditional fetch lands, but that also probably means that's what they're about to do, so you know. There was a leak a month back that predicted ultimatums and companions and said try lands with basic types and cyclings. Try lands with basic types? That would be absurd. They explicitly said there won't be fetch lands in Standard in one of their Secret Lair announcements. Good. I mean, to be fair, if Pioneer, Historic, and Standard are primarily their future and those formats don't have fetch lands, try lands with basic land types, just make buddy lands better, right? Like, those, in formats without fetch lands, those aren't really a big deal. I'd be cool with fetch lands if the activation cost was tap, get punched in the face, search your library. Thanks for wasting my time. Nice land card.
No time for a break.
Don't veto me. Don't do it. Have a heart.
I didn't live through hell to lose to you. Balance comes.
Huh? I think I'm actually supposed to take the goose here, because the goose makes food. I really hope that they print Mana Confluence in one of the Historic anthologies. I think that would be a sweet land to give us some variety in the aggro decks in Historic. It would be good in Gruul too, but it would be good. It would enable some tricolor aggro in a nice way. Oh no! Don't tuck my Vivien. How will I ever get back to my? Oh no! Oh no! I started bragging and then they punished me, chat. Oh no! Oh, JK, JK, LOL. No justice stream. Magic's great. I'm the best. Nailed it. Nailed it. Oh no! Oh, I forgot about Narsa. It's gonna be okay. Listen, chat. Magic is the game that I play because it allows me to experience the range of human emotions. We laugh, we cry, we get savage, we do the savaging, you know. Good variety all around.
Nothing.
So many feels, Bob. Hey, Willie, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Speaking of feels, I mean, to be fair, sometimes playing only a couple of matches on Arena takes a real long time, especially if you're playing Standard. Like, we played 4 matches of Standard, and I played rather quickly, and it took us, like, almost 2 hours earlier today. I probably wanted to land there. Alright, deal Arena. Have our cake and eat it too. Why could Vivien put an arrow in an enchantment, but not Teferi? I mean, Teferi probably moves around more, huh? So, like, we're drawing a lot of cards here, but I'm not actually sure how we go about winning the game at this point. Does anybody know? How do I actually win the game at the end of this? Obviously should have played Oven before Goose because of their sweeper.
Hold that thought.
Vivien Alt or Cats and Ovens. Okay, Cats and Ovens is probably a reasonable take. I should roar like Godzilla while in the costume and into the battlefield. I just want to set expectations, Wargy. Christy said the estimated shipping on those costumes wasn't until the end of the month due to how they're prioritizing non-essential things. So there is a chance, a good chance, that I don't have the costumes for the release stream. No, I think we have more than enough grind, BSQ. Uro's not even good, right? Actually, this is great because it kills this. Sure. Yeah, with Jake being interested in playing Minecraft and me playing a little bit of Pokemon Sword, at some point we're probably gonna have to get a second Switch for the family because all four of us are playing things off and on it. I don't think we want to get a Switch Lite though. Want to wait for the ones with the detachable things that dock on the TV.
We need to move quickly.
Things up to 5.
I'll protect you.
Yeah, I intend to remain on the Windows system until it has, unless it has connection issues like Linux does. And at some point, maybe I'll have enough spare time to, like, go through the 800 different things that the connection issue could be on my Linux setup, but honestly, it's less work to set up Windows than it is to debug whatever that issue is. No issues yet. Twitch itself actually had a bunch of its ingest servers go down today, so I did have a disconnect, but it was different from the issues I've been having. It was on Twitch's end. A bunch of streams went down. And like the issue on the Linux box too isn't even that consistent, which is why it's hard to debug. Like it happens like once or twice a week sporadically. So remember to not leave the cat open to exile effects. That's good advice. Alright, cat. 23 more times to enter play here. 23 more times to enter play.
Hurry!
That's always the best response to your bug reports, right? Can't reproduce here, closed as won't fix. I'm gonna decline to take that. I have a land, I'm gonna decline. Like, there's a real chance I deck out here. So I'm being a little conservative with how many I'm taking.
I've done the hero thing.
This is Mana Vault. This is up to 6. I think I Hostage Taker next turn. Murderous Rider in the board. Yeah, that could be reasonable. With the Trail of Crumbs, for sure. Hey, Milo, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Yep. Oh, hey, the bottom of our deck's coming back up. So we'll get to the cat again real soon here. Let the Viviens hit the board. Let the Viviens hit the board. Let the Viviens hit the board.
You can't stop nature.
Oh man, we bottomed the other cat. That's sad. With the power of 2 kitties, we can start pressuring their planeswalkers, chat. It's really exciting. Yeah, this is one of those things where like it doesn't happen in paper, but like when it happens here, it's just like, yeah, that's super convenient. You just get to pay 2 a bunch and loop through the deck and get back to the cat, which is great.
Keep up the pace.
Keep up the pace. So they're probably going to double tap Vivien here. We need a singleton experiment from decking, right?
Enough. Let's try this.
She has to go to 6, 7, 8. She's an ult for 4 turns. They have 17 minutes right now. I have 20 minutes. This is game 2 and we're down a game. So if we manage to find our way to a victory here, we're gonna have to play a game 3. Is there a way to completely change a deck submission in the queue? If you've donated for a deck and no one else has paid or spent shillings to bump that deck up, you are welcome to swap it out for something else. If anyone else has contributed to your submission, though, it has to stay as it is. At least the same archetype. So, I think if this resolves, I'm actually going to shoot their Othakaya. because I want to start pressuring their planeswalkers, and I don't think I can afford to give them a bunch of life while doing so.
Draw. Not bad for a mouse.
Want me to phase you out of time?
Well, you can look at the total contributed column, Mikey, and see if the total in the total contributed column is more than you sent in. So there's a total points column, and there's another column that shows how much some people have used to bump it, and shillings and dollars get applied there.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Questing Beast would be, I mean, honestly, Questing Beast probably dies, right? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with the Risen Reef. I'm mostly just like taking game actions until 25 cat triggers from now, right? Like 25 cat triggers from now, my opponent will hopefully be dead. It's not much chat, but it's good, honest work, okay? Want to decline on these next two and draw the ooze. I believe we have a fourth of it in the deck, yeah. Let's gain some click efficiency here. All the way down to 22, chat. Or are you gonna draw step erasure us? Sure. Sure. So many wonderful thoughts to erase. We're not keeping up Oven against Exiles. Yeah, it's just not worth it. I'd rather get the most damage in. If they exile one of my cats, it's not a big deal. If they cast Legion's End, whatever, I'll concede. I don't have it in me to be one less of an efficient. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the fourth oven this turn. The other cat's in this pile, right? It's in these cards from Vivien. It's one of those three.
Time for plan B.
Does the scheduled MTGO time pull from all Moto formats in the queue? It does, Labrat. There aren't that many Moto decks in the queue these days, so I just grab whichever one's at the top in terms of points. Actually, having Agonizing Remorse on top of my deck is like pretty good here, huh? Let's Risen Reef and then cast that, just like get an idea of what on earth is going on in their hand. Like, what are they holding on to here? Is it just like a bunch of spot removal that's useless? Sure. Yeah, I mean, their hand is mostly useless, huh? Risen Reef isn't technically drawing a card. It's putting it into your hand. Alright, so we're gonna turbo through to find our last cat here. How much longer will Van be going for? This might be the last one. If we win this game, it's going to be the last one. Nice, Seth. Glad you enjoyed it.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Yeah, if I find our way to the 4th cat, I can have 4 cats in play attacking simultaneously. Is the goal. All of my 1/1s are getting in there every turn. My opponent's actually losing more time off these triggers on average than we are right now. It ain't just the slowest, most honest of work. Can you draw separation again? Sure. As you will. Mr. Flanders, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm not sending everything at Teferi right now because they could just get him back with Conqueror's Death anyways.
I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, if you know all the cards in your bin, they all show up. They all show up face up. Or all the cards in your deck. Alright, so there should be a cat in these next 2 cards if I've been keeping track correctly. Decline, decline. Oh, because we have Goose to make food, we get an extra trigger by letting them die. Kind of, so the issue with that is, should my opponent sweep, I'm going to need every piece of food I have available. So, like, bring the cats back, and if they draw, like, multiple sweepers over the course of a few turns, that could be relevant, too. Is a real consideration.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Milio, the Discord server doesn't sync instantaneously. It can take up to an hour. So try again in an hour or so. You'll be able to pop in. Is there anything else in my deck I'm looking for? I'm not sure that there is. Yeah, I asked the person that made the overlay at one point about deck counts, and apparently that's not something the MTGA log file provides in terms of information. My opponent is under 12 minutes on the clock. I'm at 14 minutes on the clock. Interesting that they waited for my ovens to come back. Oh, I forgot to make a food. I forgot to make a food with the thing. Whatever. It's gonna be okay. Oh, they're doing it now because they're getting it back with this. That makes sense. They didn't have anything else in their bin to get back.
Keep up the pace.
You got it. That's worse if they have more sweepers, Benson, which they could realistically have. It's more damage because I could bring the cats back with the food I already had and then still use the ovens that turn to sack them again.
That didn't pan out. Don't worry, I got it.
So it's more damage in the short term, but like my source of extra food is over now. I forgot to make a food with Goose. I have to sit here and click decline a whole bunch. I don't have time to play around Legion's End. I just don't. I don't have time on my clock to play around Legion's End. If they find Legion's End, we're just dead. In a game theory optimal sense, you are right. I should use one less oven at all times and always have Legion's End up. Tap all your mana so you don't have to keep declining. That's the real Galaxy Brain play right there. Is this actually faster though? With no auto tap hotkey, is this actually quicker? It probably is. It probably is. Red-Black Sacrifice and Bant Ramp are probably two of the best decks. Someone else in chat said William Jensen recently published a top 10 decks in Standard post on what I assume is Channel Fireball. So I'd probably start there. He's a very good Magic player. Whatever he tells you are the best things are probably pretty close to right, if not exactly correct. Oh, yeah, I need to pressure him off the table at some point too, right? I forgot he was getting up there.
Let's try this.
So the problem with not using the spacebar is there's a decline option. So the spacebar doesn't do that. Opponent's at 10.5 minutes. I'm at 12 minutes. Like I said, if they eventually hit a Legion's End here, that's fine, we'll die.
Don't make another move. that thought. Time for plan B. I'll protect you.
For people that don't understand why I'm keeping the extra food, my opponent can play sweepers at instant speed, so if I loop all my ovens at their end step, they can potentially sweep my board, so if I don't have food to bring the catbacks after that happens, I'm done. I have no pressure left. See, if I spacebar, I can't spacebar. I have to actually click decline. If I spacebar, it brings up the stupid thing. They have 14 cards in their deck. I have 15 in mine. So yeah, so they're actually decking before me now at this point, which is nice. I mean, I'm pot committed to this one now. This is the last match we're playing with this deck, so we're gonna play it out to its gonna play it out in its entirety. Any other match I start with this deck at this point is going to run past longer than what this is going to take in terms of 20 minutes most likely, so we're in it to win it, chat.
Stop that. Now. I've got time.
Yeah, tapping out takes time too, though. It maybe saves us time. I don't know. You know what? I'm pretty sure we just did a thing. I'm gonna be done. I'm bored. I don't feel like playing anymore. Yeah, we were at a plateau. I think our deck's a favorite there. I think the game's incredibly tedious, so I'm gonna move along. I didn't put enough win conditions in this deck. Just having Cat Oven as the win condition doesn't feel like enough there. That's the Esper Control story. Yep. I don't know. In terms of, like, the build-around submission, like, Fblthp, drawing 2 cards, only did that a couple of times, but it's just tough to do. Like, the things you have to do to draw 2 cards with Fblthp often end up being better off doing something else. Like, if you're activating Vannifair, you're probably doing something better than drawing 2 cards with Fblthp, and there aren't really any other good tools to do that. You like Fblthp with Arcbow? I guess, but like, generally speaking, when you're Arcbowing for big numbers, you're gonna do something better than draw with Fblthp. I don't know. I think as far as like fair Vannifair goes, we didn't get to play against Field of the Dead, which could be a concern, but we hit a bunch of control decks, and our deck was, as expected, good there, except it was a little tedious, so maybe throw in some Ceratops if you want to beat that, but honestly, if you're playing this and you don't want to grind people out, it's probably just not the deck for you. Let's do a total 180 in terms of pacing on what we're doing here. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get everything set up and flipped over to the next one. But when we get back, we're going to kick the tires on Jund Storm Herald again here, because I am ready to beep, beep, zoom, zoom, go fast. Back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.